Hi, I'm Lisa Gebert with Lisa Gebert Design. I help new businesses simplify the systems underneath their business so things feel more manageable, more organized, and easier to run. One of the biggest mistakes that I see small business owners make is thinking that that next piece of software is going to solve their problem. So maybe it's a new client management tool, maybe it's a new scheduling app, or even a project management tool. But software rarely fixes a messy system. In fact, I think it usually makes things worse because most businesses don't actually have a software problem. They have a structure problem. A structure problem is something like your files might live in 5 different places. Maybe you have folders and subfolders and sub-subfolders where you file things and you can never find a darn thing, right? Maybe your intake process isn't clear. When a new client comes into your business, is there a system in place that takes them from the intake through the work, through the process, through the follow-up at the end? Is there a process that's clear? Do the tools that you already use talk to each other? Are they connected in some easy flow, easy to understand flow? Maybe really nobody in your business knows where anything lives. And I tell you, I've been there before. I have had file naming systems that had made absolutely no sense. And I've had the folders and I've had software that I thought was great. And it ended up, I was working for the software. It wasn't working for me. So a business might add another tool, hoping that it's just going to magically fix everything. And tools, they have their place, but it's only after you have a clear idea of, what tools do you really need? And this is really important. What tools will you use? It's like building a house. You can't really install the plumbing or the electrical or the heating system until you build that foundation. I have personally been down this road. I love technology and I definitely am a victim of the shiny object syndrome. I gravitate towards the tools. And, let's face it, we are bombarded daily by promotions and marketing that promise us we'll make 7 figures in the first year if we just buy their stuff, right? It's wrong. I'm wrong. I've done that, been there. Now, for my business, I'm all about purpose and non-friction. In fact, clarity and non-friction are my buzzwords for 2026. If a tool doesn't have a clear path on how it's going to support and help my business, and it has to be very easy to learn, and it has to be easy to use. If it doesn't meet that criteria, I just walk away. And the only way to know if a tool meets this criteria for your business is to first have that clarity about your business. Build that foundation. Without a clear path to create a solid foundation, chaos can appear quite quickly to your business. I'd like to talk about the 3 most common system problems. And problem number 1 is that you have too many disconnected tools. Perhaps you've got, for example, a website that really doesn't accurately handle the payments when clients want to pay you. Perhaps your email system isn't set up with good automations and isn't connected to the website. Maybe you have a calendar that is off somewhere else, or maybe your forms or your files are stored but not at a place that makes sense to easily go and get them. So problem number 2 is that there's really no clear workflow. So how does a new client actually move from an inquiry into an intake process, into the work that you do for them, and how does the follow through happen after that work has been completed? Most businesses never really design this, and it's pretty basic, and it will save you so much time. And it's definitely going to help you figure out what tools you really need to make that happen. And problem number 3 is information chaos. We've talked about this already a little bit, but if you need something, do you know where to go to find it? If the answer is it depends, you don't have a system. The real solution, what most businesses need, actually isn't more software. They need a simple structure underneath the tools that they already use. Once the structure exists, the technology finally starts doing its job. Good tools will plug into your structure. Some of the biggest improvements that I've made in my own business came from simplifying the structure that was underneath the tools. So it was things like a file naming convention. So all my files and my folders are organized in a very logical fashion, and it's consistent. So I can find things quite easily now. The other thing is create a client workflow. When a new client comes into your business, how has that inquiry come in? How is it handled? How is the work done? How is the follow up done for the testimonial when you're finished? It's easy if we've got one or two clients, but I don't know about you. Most of us need more than one or two clients in our business. And once you get beyond that, it can really turn into a mess. I mean, you might come in the morning and turn on your PC and just look at everything and go, wow. So what did Jack need from me yesterday? And where is that thing I was going to send to Janet? And what was it? And Susie needed something. Now, what was that? There's no clear client workflow. It's super important. And of course, you have to make sure that the tools actually connect logically that you're already using. Those changes have saved me far more than adding another platform ever did. So what I'd like you to do is at the end of this video, and we're almost finished, get out a piece of paper and a pencil. I know I'm a big digital, online, everything kind of gal. I love doing Google Docs and typing out everything and making systems that I can refer to. But I have found for me, and there's been studies done on this, a piece of paper and a pencil really ignites more of your creativity and more of your memory. So sit down with just a simple piece of paper and a pen and answer the questions you see here on the screen. Give it some time, give it some good thought, and that is going to be your first step in creating that structure that you need upon which you're going to be working on your tools. If your business is feeling messy right now, don't start by adding another tool. I really encourage you to start by asking, what structure is missing underneath the tools that I already have? Simple systems create clarity.